Same as that Stephen Hawking, lazy. Most intelligent man on the planet, and I'm having a go. Brilliant. Most intelligent man on the planet, but not such a good judge of character. Happily married. Kids. Nurse. And now, according to some, my lawyers have told me to say, she leaves him out in the sun, she smacks him round the head for a laugh. Isn't that terrible? He must be thinking, oh, what happened to all the fucking blowjobs? What? Whack. Ow. Spell the whole word. Ouch. But there's no evidence. The charges were dropped. So that's not how he got the cuts and bruises. It's probably all the skateboarding he does. So, why politics? Because I want to give something back to society. Fuck off, I do. You don't know. And I can't enjoy this life when I see injustice, suffering, inequality. And I want to live and die, if necessary, by the morals I hold dearly, like Martin Luther King and Gandhi and Ben Elton. People have a problem with Ben Elton now. They think he's sort of sold out all his principles and just made as much money as he could, and he's just an annoying little twat. That may be the case, but they never have a go at Gandhi, do they? That's what I'm here. No, that's what I'm here for. A bit of balance. Never mind having a go at Ben Elton. What about Gandhi? He could be annoying. To me. I'll tell you a story about Gandhi. True story. When he came to England in 1930 summer, I haven't looked it up. It was taking 30 seconds. I can't be bothered. I'll have it ready for tomorrow. Right. It was 1930 something, and fuck it. He got off the plane. Pretty sure it was a plane. Heathrow. Terminal 1. And he gets off. Oh God, Mahatma Gandhi in our little country, surrounded by journalists, photographers. They couldn't believe their luck. And one little journalist went, "Mr. Gandhi," respectful like, said, "Mr. Gandhi, what do you think of Western civilization?" And Gandhi said, "I think it would be a good idea." Ooh, yes, Saki. For someone who doesn't want to get into a fight, he's a little bit... Honey? Okay, now. And what happened to sarcasm being the lowest form of wit? Oh, no, highest form of wit when Gandhi says it. If I'd have been that reporter, I'd have said, "Oh, very good, I'm not putting that." I'll ask you again. What do you think of Western civilization? I told you, I think it would be a good idea. All right, OK. I'm taking back your degree from London University. Oh, and your National Health specs. What do you think of it now, Mr. Magoo? Yeah. Sarky bastard. He went to the same university as me, University College London. And I think it was there where I turned away from politics, because I'd been interested, sort of, you know, all my life, particularly that 15, 16, 17, becoming politicised, hanging out in the sixth form and discussing communism and stuff. And I do things like I used to sell anti-Nazi League badges and collect for the miners, because it was noisy, mainly. And I even had that poster of Che Guevara on my wall at home to annoy my mum. It backfired. She thought it was Robert Lindsay. And then when I got to college, there were people better at that than me. Do you know what I mean? There were people that really meant it, and I was thinking, oh God, was I like that? I'll give you an example. I did philosophy, and after a few weeks, you had to choose your options for the 3 years. And compulsory subjects were logic and Greek philosophy, and you had to choose about 6 others. And I chose philosophy of science, philosophy of mind, morality. And there was a Marxism option. And I thought, that'd be great, I've always been interested in that, and I could do it. And it was only a small department, 25 people, and the tutors were all out, and you had to queue up and tick the thing you wanted. And I looked over at the queue for Marxism, and there were 10 people in this queue. 3 of them were wearing berets. And I thought, God, I can't spend 3 years in a room with what I used to call at the time, cunts. The first bloke I sort of hooked up with was the opposite of that. He was this big lumbering chemist called Pete Bront, yeah? And I think he was about the first person I met, and he lived literally opposite me in the corridor at Ivor Evans Hall in Camden. And 18, like the rest of us, but the mind of a 55-year-old fascist cab driver. Do you know what I mean? Like, just society was going to the dogs and, oh, God, oh, the things I could do if I was in charge, that sort of thing. And I remember there was an advert at the time for Strongbow. And at the end of the advert, 2 arrows were fired from a longbow that went and split the wood on a bar. That gave him the horn, that advert. Because he used to imagine executing muggers and rapists like that. And it would come on, and he'd go quiet, and he'd be watching it like that. And then, as it would go, ooh, that was in their head. And he also used that to exorcise demons. Like, you walk along the street, and it was like early 80s, so if he saw someone coming the other way, like a bloke with long hair and makeup or something, he'd just watch him, and he'd go, oh. He'd be imagining killing him. Once we were walking home from college, and he used to go in every day and buy his Evening Standard. Right? And it was a little kiosk, I don't know if it's still there, but it was like just 2 piles of Standards and a little old woman selling them. And he went in this particular day, bought his Standard, 10p, looked at it, and the cover story that day was a big photograph of an old-age pensioner. She'd been mugged, and there was a picture of her and it was cuts and bruises, an awful story. And the old lady, just making conversation, she probably said it to everyone who came in that day. She went to Pete, "It's awful, isn't it?" And he went, "Yeah, dreadful. Yeah, she's 93, scarred for life." But you leave it, don't you? Pete went, "Well, it's not scarred for life then, is it?" She went, "What?" He went, "You scar a baby for life, don't you?" She went, "If she lives till she's 100, she's only been scarred for 7% of her life." He did the maths for her. Like, this old woman's meant to go, "Yeah, you're right, fuck her." But politics starts at an early age. You don't need to go to college to be exposed to politics. I think it starts from year 0, you know. It's in little sayings and songs, nursery rhymes, fables. They're charged with morality for kids. And I remember I must have been as young as sort of 6 or 7, because it was infant school. And the first Monday of every month, the deputy headmaster used to do a fable at assembly, and it was his best day, okay? Now, he used to make it last about half an hour to 40 minutes, and he thought he was Peter Ustinov. And looking back, I think all the other teachers were going, "Look at that fucking wanker showing off to 6-year-olds." He'd take his shoes off as well, yeah. And I'll tell one that he told, a fable, okay? It was the fable of the 2 mice, the lazy mouse and the industrious mouse. All through the summer, there was lots of berries on the trees, the sun was shining, it was lovely and warm. The lazy mouse would be eating berries off the tree, taking a bite, throwing it away, there was loads, right? The industrious mouse, he'd have a berry, sure. But he'd eat it all and he'd save one as well. Lazy mouse, forget that, just eating berries, running around, okay. The industrious mouse, well, I said, "You know what, you should, look forward to winter because those berries won't be... Oh, fuck off, you square, I've adapted it, right? So anyway, you get the picture. So all through the summer, he's eating berries, he's running around, sunbathing. The industrious mouse, he's busy, he's eating berries, collecting berries, freeze-drying them, chopping wood with a little axe that he's fashioned out of a twig and a tiny little sliver of flint, and he's tied it on with a horsehair, and thus making it easier for him to stockpile wood for a much colder season. He hasn't got a fire at the moment, he's too hot, if anything. Just lying there like, oh. But come winter, burn the wood, make a fire. So, last summer. So, to cut a long story, I'm making it last longer than he did, for fuck's sake. Right. So, Autumn comes, same pattern. Lazy mouse, he's just fucking about eating the last of the berries, right? The industrious mouse collecting the last of the berries. He's got too much wood, if you want, in my opinion, but he's not going to run out. The stuff at the back's probably damp. Circulate it. Doesn't know what he's doing, but he's doing his best. And the lazy mouse, he's just having a laugh. He's loving autumn. He's just kicking through the leaves. Underneath the leaves. You can't see him because he's too short, but you can see the leaves sort of move like that. You sort of go, what's that? What's that? I can't see. It's just lazy mouse. You can't, but that's what's happening. Don't think it's a ghost or something, or it's just... If you could go in there like with a really high-tech sort, you know, like in Discovery Channel, they go, you'd probably see the lazy mouse going. And winter comes. The ground is cold and hard. There's no berries on the trees anymore. It's freezing, okay? The lazy mouse is out there, he's scurrying around. He can't find anything. The industrious mouse is in his cottage. That he's built out of just odds and ends. Roaring twig fire, pipe, rocking chair, or a pebble, just a pebble, sort of modern. And don't they hibernate? This is bollocks, isn't it? These mice didn't, anyway. So he's there, and there's a knock at the door. He thinks, who's that? So he goes over to the little door. Tiny knob, obviously. What do you want? It's obvious what he wants, isn't it? And he goes, oh, well, it's cold, and I'm hungry, and there's... Well, definitely smokes now. Right? That's not my porn mag. Right? He goes... Well, I did warn you, didn't I? Yeah. Never mind. Come on in and share with me. Where's the moral there? What is the moral of that tale? Fuck around, do what you want, then scrounge off a do-gooder. It's a terrible lesson for kids. Most of the kids in my class kept that up.